that those ones that are picked as the selection panel, are not Kenyans enough. But what does this mean? Is it public participation?
Kenyans are already participating. They are given the opportunity to provide memoranda on the people whose names have been listed, and those names have been published. I think sometimes we become granular to a fault, and we fail to move forward. We fail to make the necessary progress by nitpicking and some kind of almost filibustering that is not necessary at all. I think, and I hope and pray that Kenyans will allow this process to come to maturity, and that we can have a commission, we can have commissioners, and that they can begin undertaking the business for which this independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission exists. All right.
You see, you mentioned the Premier Leagues, and you talked about Arsenal and Manchester, and I thought we had a game today at home. And Gabon must be wondering what is not going on in Kenya. But then, of course, we also have feedback from you back at home as to that specific occurrence today. They say shouts and actions are two parallel meanings. Kimutai Yegon responding to, the game and what played out yesterday. You have watched that story that we have carried. Yes. And they say mixing politics and football, that is Bena, well, neither here or there. And of course, Orango Dominic says they lack respect. Life will go on and you have a home to go to and put food on your table for your family. That is Koech Eric. And Mapua Siafu says, now everyone is going back home after the chance. That is, of course, after that particular match. And you say, go is a must. That is Peter Yule PJ. I don't know who is going. And others have expressed themselves too, kusalimia Mheshimiwa Salasya. You have witnessed the occurrences today, this kind of intolerance, and that majority leader would say that perhaps there is, a spirit of negativity in the country. And, others will hit Salasya because then they say that he has insulted BAMBA, that is the Right Honorable Raila Odinga at some point in time, while others would be there saying or chanting, this talks of, perhaps the president must go or somebody else must go. I mean, what does it paint of a country and, where it is that we are, that we have escalated this to levels of where the game is, and I see Professor is here. We should be looping him in shortly.
I think those who believe that President William Ruto ought to go have a right to believe so. I increasingly believe myself that he has not kept to his square, and that there is a lot of justification in the thought that he should go after this term. But there's also sense of occasion, and where we should push and prosecute that agenda. I would not mind if it is a sporadic kind of thing, but this one seemed to have been very clearly orchestrated with some individuals with megaphones and other sound amplifying equipment calling for Ruto must go. I believe that Ruto ought to go. In fact, I believe that Ruto must go. But I don't believe that that was the correct forum for prosecuting of that agenda. The manhandling of Peter K. Salasya was extremely unfortunate, and it's being conducted by individuals who purport to act in favor and support of Mr. Raila Odinga, and who characterizes himself as a Democrat. He must accept to be criticized. If the kitchen is too hot, then he should step out. Anyone and everybody who occupies public space must know that there is a price to pay for occupying that public space, and that price is being subjected to eternal surveillance and eternal vigilance by the public. So to rough up Peter K. Salasya and to tell him that Eshimu Raila, I think that must be condemned in the strongest possible terms, And I expect that Mr. Odinga, having signed a memorandum of agreement with Dr. William Ruto, and that memorandum having had as the first article the entrenchment of the democratic tradition, he will step out and condemn that act and tell his followers and his mashabik that they should refrain from that kind of thing. We refuse to be silenced.
Okay.
I am one of Mr. Odinga's most ardent critics. I have even left this set at some point, and I've seen in my inboxes some ill-advised individuals purporting to tell me not to criticize Mr. Odinga. He is in that space. He invited himself into that space, and we will criticize him. We will not be intimidated. Nothing can stop us from criticizing bad governance. If we believe that what President Ruto and Mr. Odinga are doing is wrong, we will talk about it. And it doesn't matter if somebody wants to come and send us into the next world.
You know, Daktari, you remind me that the abduction session, I don't want to say came and left having not had an engagement with you. I don't know whether it is still on, but even SK Macharia the other day says, I am 80-something years old, and therefore even if they want to abduct
yes, they can come.
It is almost a similar tone that I read from you.
Yes.
What does it